Welcome to Rising with Soccer.
Hello everyone. Coming to the second semi-final in Euro 2020, that is England versus Denmark. The game will be played at Wembley Stadium, London. So it will be kind of a home game for England. Let's look into lineup and formations for both teams. In orange we have England. In blue we have Denmark. Pickford will be starting in goal with the 4-2-3. They will be going with the 5-2-3 formation, preferring to go with the five-man in defense so that they can have they already have a good defensive statistics in this tournament. And if at all they do not consider and only score at least one goal, they will win the game. So they will be giving more emphasis on defending, and they will be choosing pragmatic approach in going into this game. So they will be going with the 5-2-3 formation. Pickford in goal with centre backs as Walker, Stones, and Maguire. On wing back roles, we will be having Kieran Trippier on right wing. On left wing, we will be having Beast in Luke Shaw. In centre midfielder partnership, we will be seeing Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips. Both have been very instrumental in this England team. And coming to the attackers, Harry Kane as a striker, Raheem Sterling on right wing. On left wing, they will be going with the Grealish because Grealish was rested, well rested player, and he is a really creator of chances for England team. So I guess he will be starting. Looking at the Denmark side, Denmark will be going with the traditional 4-3-3 or 4-2-3, 4-3-2-1, with Schmeichel in goal. Centre backs will be Christensen, Simon Kerr, and Vestergaard. A very good defensive unit with experience and young talent and speed. So a very good defenders. Looking at the four midfielders, they will be having Striegel Larsen, who has started last two games, and I guess he will be starting again England against England. And in midfield, we will be having Højbjerg and Delaney. Delaney got himself a goal in last game, and Mela, who is evergreen in this tournament. And attackers, they will be going with the Damsgaard. In striker role, they will be going with the Casper Dolberg, and on right wing, they will be having Carlos Braithwaite. Uh, then they can where they will be having Yusuf Paulson on bench, and Daniel Voss as a right wing back again on bench. So they are having good team. England will be having Sancho, Foden, Mount, Rashford as a bench player. So if we look at England's squad depth, it's very high. And looking at the key battles on the pitch, we will be going with the Simon Kerr versus Harry Kane. Harry Kane scored two goals against Ukraine, and overall three goals he has scored in Euro 2020. So he will be beaming with confidence. And Simon Kerr has been defending well against good strikers. So it will be a good tactical battle because in last game Patrick Schick versus Simon Kerr was there, who scored five goals in this tournament. So it will be a good battle. But I guess Harry Kane will be having upper hand against him. Then we will going with the Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling can switch the wings also, but he will be playing right wing if at all Grealish plays. So Westergaard versus Sterling. This battle, obviously Sterling is having upper hand. Westergaard plays in EPL, and we have seen many times that Westergaard is not able to cope up with Sterling's pace and obviously his dribbling skills also. So I hope I can see that Sterling will be having upper hand here also. Looking at Christensen versus Grealish, it will be a neutral battle. Christensen has been phenomenal for Denmark in this Euro 2020, one of the pillars of the Denmark defense, and one of the goal he scored was a screamer. So I guess this here we can see it is a neutral kind of battle. Then looking at the striker, Casper Dolberg versus Stones. Dolberg has scored many goals in Nice in French league, but against Stones it will be very difficult because Stones is a very quality defender. He does not give a room or space to players. He is very physical in that aspect, and it will be very difficult game for Casper Dolberg to move. So that we have seen. Looking then, we will be going with the Braithwaite versus Maguire. Harry Maguire has been colossal for England this season against Ukraine. Also, he was good against Germany. Also, he got the man of the match. So he will be beaming with confidence also. And Martin Braithwaite plays for Barcelona. He will be also having a good tournament. Has taken a lot of shots, scored a few goals. But looking at this key battle, I am clearly seeing Harry Maguire could be winning this game, could winning this battle. Then we will be seeing Damsgaard versus Walker. Damsgaard is a very young talent, and Walker is very experienced, pacey defender. And looking at these key battles also, all these three key battles which we are seeing, Denmark versus England and defense of England, England is having upper hand in all this aspect, to be honest. And in attacking also they were having two advantages, and one is neutral. And looking at midfielder also, Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice versus will be having Højbjerg versus Delaney. Højbjerg plays for Spurs in EPL. He had a fantastic season with Spurs. Did not win anything, but his performances were very absolutely best. And Thomas Delaney plays for Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund defenders and midfielders are absolutely stunning. So these area of the pitch, I am seeing this is the neutral battle. Nobody will be winning. So all the four are having great quality and everything. So it's a kind of a neutral battle. So England might be winning the game in defense and attack, but in midfield it's kind of a neutral. And then coming to the wing back roles, where we will be seeing Luke Shaw versus Striegel Larsen and Trippier versus Mailer. Trippier versus Mailer, I can easily see Mailer winning because Mailer has been performing absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Trippier has won La Liga in Atletico Madrid this season, but looking at Mailer's form, I am able to see here Denmark is probably winning the battle, key battle on this wing in this area. And looking at this, Striegel Larsen versus Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has been very attacking for England this time because he has provided a lot of assists. Second topmost assist provider in Euro 2020, and he will be helping in attack. And Stiegel Larsen is also kind of a attacker only. He's not a proper left wing back or right wing back role. So Daniel Voss also can come in, who is a proper right wing back. But Stiegel Larsen will be able to help in attack. That's what he will be choosing uh, in the lineup. So this is also kind of a battle where England will be having an upper hand because Luke Shaw is beaming in confidence and he will be going forward to scoring the goals. So looking at all these key tactical battles, I'm seeing England is having kind of upper hand over Denmark. But in football, we can never say never. For both teams will be Harry Kane for England, and for Denmark, we will be going with Andres Christensen because Christensen will be the guy. If at all Denmark doesn't concede and go into penalties, they might win this game also. So Christensen needs to perform at his very best and had to keep the attackers, England attackers at bay. I'm hoping for a England narrow win with a scoreline of 2-1, or England might be winning on penalties. So it will be a good game to see. And looking at the squad statistics for both teams in this tournament, England has been a little better than Denmark. Uh, you can see ball recoveries from Denmark is 301. So whenever they lose the ball, they try to get the ball as soon as possible. So they are pressing very high, higher up the field. Very high pressing team, very energetic team. They looking at the position lost. Also, England has lost lesser position than Denmark. Obviously, England is keeping the ball position more than Denmark in the whole tournament. We can see goals. Till now, England has scored only 8 goals, whereas Denmark has scored 11. Shots 31, shots 63. So it's kind of almost double. Denmark has taken almost double shots, and shot accuracy is also 57.14%, which is better than England. If passes completed and passing accuracy, England is better. But in terms of tackles made, take-ons completed, take-on success, and take-ons completed, we can see Denmark is having upper hand. So that means Denmark likes to press high, and they can really cause problems to England on this area of the pitch. Then coming to the aerial duels, England has winning. Ground duels, we can see uh, Denmark winning. So it's kind of a neutral avenue there for both teams. Then looking at the clearances and interceptions, Denmark is leading to England in this tournament, 52 interceptions, clearances 78, and that's a really great stat, to be honest. And we can see England's best thing, that is goals considered 0, clean sheets 5. 5 games played, 5 clean sheets, and 0 goals considered. I have never seen a team marching into semifinals with a 0 goals considered and 5 clean sheets. If at all they are able to keep the clean sheet in this semi-final also, they will be the first team to go into the finals with the clean sheets in all of their matches before entering into the final. So it's a very good stat to have. And looking at the blocks also, England is leading. So it's a kind of a neutral battle, but still England is kind of having a quality advantage and home advantage. So I guess England will be winning. In the last game, England beat Ukraine by 4-0, and Denmark won that game again with a 2-1 scoreline. Head to head history, if we see, England has won 12 times, draw 5, Denmark 4. So looking at history, obviously England is a stronger side. And we can see in last three games which happened 2014, 2020, 2020. In 8 September 2020, the game ended in draw. In 14 October 2020, England versus Denmark, Denmark won that game because of penalty scored by Christian Eriksen. But Christian Eriksen is not going to play in this game because he is injured. So it will be difficult, but they will be having a confidence that they have beaten England on at Wembley in 2020, October 2020. So they will be having a little bit confidence. But it's a really, really high stakes, thrilling encounter I'm seeing. And if at all Denmark is able to upset England, that will be a news. It will be a great news. But my head says England is winning this game and going into the finals. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.